best in podcasts, the best in town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth.
And we're no damn experts. I have such a treat for you today, Shannon.
I'm really excited.
I have been working to make this happen for a long time. The person that we have on the podcast today is, they make a product.
Mm-hmm.
I found this product a number of years ago.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 4 or 5, fell in love with it. And when I fall in love with a product,
Are you diehard loyal?
diehard loyal, and then force other people to fall in love with the product
she
as
should
well.
love you then. Yeah.
And then I started stalking their website. I started stalking their Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And the guest is looking at us going, oh my God, I knew nothing about this. And now I'm in a
She's
closed
like, why am
room
I
with
here?
this person.
Never mind.
So we are going to get to learn more about the business, about the person, about the products. We have in studio today, Jessie Bidlack with Sweet Prairie Farms.
Yay.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Still really
Well, I'm glad you're not scared
No.
because let me just get it out in the open. You were at the Sun Valley Days, Valley Days in Sun Prairie with your lotion, and I fell in love with it. The people that were at the table helping sell it, I'm assuming your children and husband. Great. I bought more than one bottle, and I have been pushing your product ever since. So stop in those small towns, see what vendors are there. That's the first tip of this. So tell us who you are, how long you've been in this area,
Yeah.
why you decided farming was
Your
the life for
story.
you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad that we've made you an addict. Those are great customers, the ones that love our product and then share it. So thank you so much. And yeah, small towns have the best vendor shows and farmers markets. You get the families there that work with their hands and they value relationships and just it can be a different feel. So absolutely go support them. Yeah, tallow. It's kind of a new but old trend.
Yeah.
Super old, but now more in like the vernacular of what people are chatting about on social media.
Very, yeah. And at farmers markets all the time, people are like, oh, it's, tallow is the new thing. And it's like, well, it's actually an ancient thing.
Right. Yeah. It's just
that we've kind of rediscovered.
Right.
And so yeah, that's, it's actually, that wasn't our purpose starting out with our farm. We bought our little 5 acres on the Fairfield Bench during, 2011. So right after, the 2008 housing crisis. So we actually found our place in foreclosure and were able to afford it that way.
Nice.
And we had,
I
so
mean,
blessed.
isn't that
Very
everybody's
fortunate.
dream?
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Old rundown farmhouse, 100 years old, needs so much work, still needs so
much never
work.
ending, I'm sure.
It is a labor of love. You pull off paper, wallpaper, and there's like 10 more layers of, and then newspaper. And it's just, lots of history, lots of character. And so we had, I think, 2 little kids. Well, 1 baby at that point, and then we have 5 kids total now. But as we raised our children, we realized that they were having food allergies and sensitivities to different things. And both my husband and I have agricultural degrees from MSU.
Oh, of course, the good school.
Yeah. And we love everything we learned, and I still use so much of my degree just in my day-to-day
that's great
life.
Yeah.
Just riparian management, and we don't do much farming.
What was that word you just used?
Riparian.
I mean, everybody knows what that is, right?
Is that like
word?
Study of ripe bananas? I don't,
Close, so close. Water areas. So where, if you have a pasture and you have a river running through it, those areas that your cattle can maybe destroy, and how to care for for the ecosystem.
Okay.
Specifically that way. Riparian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already learned something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been able to use a lot of that. But we found ourselves searching for kind of an in-between of maybe traditional agriculture and more of kind of the organic realm, or just being really conscious and thoughtful about our life and what we were eating. And so that was a beautiful place to be. We were able to take our education on one hand and then learn from people who've done it different and kind of find a happy medium. And so we had a little boy, Sam. He is my oldest son, and he developed an allergy to milk.
Okay.
And through some research, we discovered that he was likely to be allergic to what we call A1A1 milk. And it's cattle. It's most of our dairy breeds now are A1A1, and they lack. They have a different casein, a protein. And a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people who have dairy allergies, they actually have an allergy just to that protein.
Okay.
And so we raise A2A2 dairy cows that have a different protein, and as a result, Sam was able to drink their milk.
This is fascinating. So quick side story, because I'm thinking. So my mom is allergic to dairy now. Like she can have butter, all those things, right? Because it's different proteins.
Yep. Yes.
But she became allergic to, so she can't have regular milk or cheese, basically. She became allergic to it after she went through cancer treatment.
Okay.
So this was later in life. It's only been the last 10 years that this has been a thing. But you're saying that, I'm like, I wonder if she could have
A2A2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And she listens to the podcast, so I'm going to make sure to tell her to listen. Okay. I'm just fascinated.
Yeah.
Now, this is a complete set. Can we get Tawny on the podcast and have her drink the A2A2 milk?
And
What
see
happens?
Bless her heart.
Tawny,
my mom.
Tawny, if you're up for it, don't let Shannon gatekeep this idea from you.
We'll see. I don't want to subject her to that if it doesn't go well. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just fascinated because this has been a conversation or things I've learned a little bit more about since she was allergic later in life due to weird cancer treatment reactions. So anyway,
I'm so sorry she went through that.
Thank you. Yeah. She's alive and healthy,
Praise God.
Yes, exactly. Praise God for that. But it'd be great if she could eat cheese again, right? So
yes, cheese is good.
A2A2.
Yes.
Okay.
A2A2 milk. And then the raw milk also has a huge component to this, because sometimes people can have a reaction or sensitivity to the pasture-raised milk product. Because essentially, we're killing off bacteria in the milk. So it's a safer product in some ways because you've killed off some of that bacteria. But for lots of people, raw milk is easier to digest. It's so it's.
And I have a friend that drinks raw milk, and it's like you've got to do these back alley deals to get
a black market situation.
Hey, do you have raw milk? Like, there's this whole underground world when it comes to raw milk, because it's like a divisive topic, I think.
Well, aren't there FDA regulations on what can be mass sold? Is that more what it is?
Yes. And Montana in the last few years has come a long way in some of those regulations. I feel like it's a lot more inclusive now to raw milk producers. But I think, a level of care is always important, no matter what the FDA says is good or bad. Testing for mastitis, testing for bacteria, all those things, how our milk hygiene, like how we're milking the cow, how we're storing the milk, those are all really important things that we're very thoughtful about. Not just for our family, but for those who also
keep
consume.
Interrupting your story.
No,
I'm sorry.
Those are great questions. Yeah. So A2A2s, we started with one cow, and then when you have 5 kids, you need like 3 cows. And as we kind of grew, we adapted our genetics a little bit so that our cows would do well on just grass diets instead of having to feed them grains just to keep their weight on through the winter. So all those things. Right now we've got 3 cows in milk right now: Raisin, Star, and Bluebell. And they all
I bet Bluebell's milk is the best.
Bluebell's pretty great. She has a crooked nose.
Aww.
Her babies do, and it's endearing.
Funny.
It's
How
just the
cute.
sweetest cow. Yeah. She was, I think, the first one we bred on our place, and I'm so thankful. She's so sweet. We didn't halter break her at all. She had a calf, and like Josh threw a halter on her, and she just walked into the milking stanchion, and we were so thankful for she's been such a great family asset. And this is probably not the best business practice, but we get really attached to our cows.
Yeah, I would.
So they just stay,
Yeah.
eat hay. And we actually, on our website, we have a retired cow section.
Love
and
it.
So they're very,
Yeah.
they're our nannies. We will throw out our weaned calves with them on our pasture, and our nanny cows are as much of the family. We feel like they've given their whole life to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the least we can do is just make sure retirement is a breeze. So again, maybe not the best financial decision, but that's just our family. Our pigs are the same. We raise
I
pigs,
love it.
and we've got a few that just never will ever leave or be eaten. They're there. They're pillars
Yeah.
of the family
I
farm.
love it.
So we do that now. We strictly do A2. And I was reminded of us last week. A friend actually gave me some raw milk of hers to try a recipe out, and her cow is A1. And I immediately had a gut reaction to it.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, we're good reminder. For our family, this is just really important. So,
Yeah.
but sometimes people are allergic to different things, because milk is alpha, beta, and then I believe whey is the third. And I
Okay.
actually have a whey allergy
Uh-huh.
that I have to be careful of.
Okay.
Huh.
So yeah, you can. I mean, it's good to get tested for that so that you know what the culprit really is. So you're
Yeah.
not throwing out maybe things that
An entire group of
exactly right.
Mhm.
And it's cool to see A2 come back. They're coming back. People are breeding them, especially the homesteader movement that has happened the last decade. There's dairies. I think there's one in Bozeman. Maybe that's not right, but I think that they're selling A2 milk. So it's cool to see those genetics come back. But with the A2, we lose capacity. So I think the move was to go A1 because the Holsteins of the dairy movement, they are able to produce so much
Much
more. Right. So that's where those genetics kind of came to play. And so as homesteaders move back to, they want higher milk fats, maybe they're more into cheese making or butter making. It's good to have, they're more after the quality versus maybe the quantity of milk.
Which that's a whole other broader discussion, right? With our food system and mass production versus, that's a whole other conversation too. Is there a way I, as a consumer, can identify or know what's A2 versus A1? Or how do I know? Can you
Smell
look
it?
at the cow? Like, how do you know the difference?
Most of the people or dairies that are producing A2 will say it on the label because it's a selling point. So they'll often say grass-fed A2 or just A2. I believe there's some grocery stores around that do sell it. It's definitely worth looking into and finding a friend with an A2 cow. So that you can enjoy
We've
those
made
things.
a friend now. Yeah. So are you?
Well, we're lucky because we live close.
Yes.
Sorry, visitors.
Right. Yes.
Get on the search for your local farmer, rancher.
Yeah,
Okay.
support them. Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you then? Are you selling milk then as well, or where's your transition into tallow? I suppose.
How did we get there? We do sell a little bit of milk. Honestly, we use most of our A2 Jersey milk, and we raise brown Swiss and Jerseys.
Okay.
And most of it goes into our lotions.
Okay.
And my 5 kids.
Yeah.
Because they drink like 2 gallons a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Crazy. Yeah.
So where the tallow came is we have a heart to utilize all of the animal. They have given their life to us, and we want to be good stewards of that. We believe that we're Christians. We believe the Bible is explicit about being good stewards, and we're attached to these animals, so we want to do right by them. And so what happened was, as we were raising milk cows, you have to breed them for them to freshen. We call that freshening when they're in milk. And we ended up raising these steers. And so we would have our butcher them, and they would say, do you want us to hold back the suet, the leaf fat? And for a while I was like, I guess I don't, I mean, what do you do with this?
Yeah.
Right. And so,
there wasn't a class at MSU that said, here's how you use all the parts of an animal.
that would be a good idea. That's
It's
stuff
real
people want to
handy.
learn. Yeah.
Again, this goes back to our whole health system and like the fact that like functional medicine, a holistic approach is not something that's really taught. And so it sounds anyway.
Yeah. You almost have to have like a reason for
here. Right.
like looking at holistic health. Like, okay, this isn't working for us.
Right.
What are we doing?
Which to me, I'm like, hello, that should be how we're looking at all of it. And so it seems like in agriculture, like, okay, how do we use the whole animal?
Yeah. Let's be a good steward. So I had all this fat and I was like, well, let's YouTube.
Yeah.
That's where you were like, where'd you learn to make soap? YouTube.
Yep.
That's YouTube has been great for me.
Yeah.
And so I had fat. I learned to render it. In fact, as we speak, I have a batch going in my crock pot at home right now that we picked up from.
She said before we hit record and you were out there, she was saying she has some rendering, and I was like, I don't even know what that means. I want to learn all about it. What is this? So it's in a crock pot. Okay.
Yeah, I do mine. I have 3 crock pots. Sometimes they're all going all at once, and it's low and slow. That's the trick with tallow. It is full of minerals and vitamins. And if you want to be quick, you lose it. You lose all that good stuff, and your skin's your biggest organ. Yeah, so we want all those vitamins to be going, being absorbed in our skin. So that's where the tallow started. And I think maybe I skipped over the goat part. The goat part was in the middle here. I had always wanted to make soap, and goat milk is naturally A2A2. And it usually has a lower whey content than cow's milk. And at that time, I was really struggling with a whey allergy that, for the most part, I've actually overcome at this point with holistic health. I still have to be careful. It still sneaks up on me sometimes, especially if processed foods will use whey as an additive. So I've got to watch it. But so there was the goat edition, and we started with 4 Nigerian dwarf goats.
Oh my gosh!
And I put them in the back of my minivan one day, and that's how it started.
Did you have little seatbelts for them? Were they bouncing around?
They were bouncing around in the back, and I still have some of my originals. One is her name is Ginger. I think she's 12 or 13, which is super old for a goat. And she's struggling at this point in her life, but she was the first one that I got. And so again, they stay forever.
Yeah.
So I have to assume that it's not like your husband's already on board. You don't come home with a Nigerian dwarf goat and he goes, honey, we've already got these nanny cows that we can't, and now you're adding more mouths to feed. I have to assume that didn't happen. He's like, yes, Nigerian dwarf goats.
I would love it if you could assume that. In all honesty, I do run all those decisions through my husband. We're a team effort. Now, there may have been a situation where one little goat kid suddenly popped up, and I was hoping he wouldn't notice. Like he's
out there one day just counting like wait a second, I think there's one extra
Did
here.
you buy a little
another goat?
And then that's when you go, no, we have boys and girl goats, which just means new goats.
I don't know, honey. And we joke that there's a thing called chicken math.
Okay.
There's goat math too.
Yeah.
Goat math is when you have 20 goats and you're like, we just have 6 or 7. It's fine. I don't, it's all good.
Yeah.
So we started there, and that was a whole different thing. Goat cheese and goat's milk soap was kind of the first product that I really got my hands dirty with.
You got dirty with your soap?
I did. Yes. I actually like that irony.
Your hands dirty with the soap.
Yeah. And that was really fun. I had the stipulation in my brain that most people have, which is goat milk is goaty and gross.
Oh,
but that's not
That's
true.
That's my husband's thought about goat milk. I love goat cheese. Love
I've
it.
had goat cheese. I have not been bold enough to drink
I guess
goat
maybe I
milk.
haven't had the milk. I've had the cheese.
Yeah.
And like everything, not all goat milk is the same or equal. And the Nigerian dwarfs, fat content in their milk is really high. It's very similar to a really high Jersey cow.
Okay.
And so their milk is not goaty at all. In fact, we would have people come over to our home. My husband's a pastor, so we frequently have people in our house, and we would give them goat milk, and sometimes they would never know that it was goat milk. They would just say it's really good, creamy milk.
I am of a firm belief that if you don't tell people what you're serving them, like you put a deer steak on a plate with some potatoes and goat milk, and they just see steak, potatoes, and milk, they're going to drink it and not be the wiser. But if they know, then they're like, oh, this is gross. I believe that's the case.
There's some power of suggestion, and that is like if they know it.
What do you think?
I think, our culture has informed our opinions on many things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's not maybe what we think.
Yeah.
So be courageous and give it a try. But
I have fed people things they did not think they were getting fed. And then they're,
Well,
And then they'll tell me like years later, they're like, oh, I don't like that. And I'm like, well, you've eaten it at my house and not complained about it. Maybe they're just being nice, but I doubt that's the case. So,
but the Nigerian dwarf goats have very creamy, rich milk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're the miniature goats. So they stay small. They're super cute. I love my goats. I had one at my house this morning warming up by the fire, actually.
Oh my gosh.
And they're the sweetest pets. I mean, they're amazing.
I would like one as a pet.
I have some if you would like a baby goat.
My husband actually would be on board
when
with
you
this.
get a goat, bring them into the office like you do the dogs.
Can I do that and then just surprise Callie one day? She's probably allergic to goats
They're hypoallergenic. Goats are. That's a lie.
One of our colleagues. I love to try to bring my dogs in sometimes, but she's allergic. So of course, respect that. But days she's not here. Sometimes I'll bring them in. But
okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Just show up with a goat one day and see what she does.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you do like yoga with your goats?
Not intentionally, but I do stretching every morning. And if there is a goat in the house, they have this
part of it.
innate need to be on the highest thing, and so they will climb on you. That's just they're climbers. They're busy.
What's the name of the one that came in to warm by the fireplace?
Peaches was this morning. We have Coconut. She was in yesterday. When it gets this cold, we're pretty careful with the babies, and they all have coats.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're pretty
this
great.
Is precious. I just want to come sit by the fire with a coat at your house.
Goats and coats. Yep.
So you have the cows, you have the goats. We're doing milk production. You're doing soap, but just with goats and not cows at this point in the story?
Yeah, so soap's always been mostly goat milk. Where I got myself into some trouble was I couldn't keep up with my lotion demand with just using goat milk.
Oh.
And so we actually transitioned to just using the A2 Jersey milk for our lotions and keeping the goat milk for the soap. Yeah. Nigerians are little. Again, we're back to quality, not quantity. And so I was, got to milk like 4 or 5 of them to get what I would get from a cow. I mean, at least.
Yeah.
And so a little bit different kind of work. We joke, my husband milks the cows. I milk the goats because how we milk them is so different. It's really hard to exchange.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle. I'm like, her teats aren't working. Like, what's with the cow? My husband's like, I can't do the goats. So we kind of have our own little realm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they've been a joy that way. And we started making the lotion and we use tallow in our lotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started doing just the straight tallow. And from a creative standpoint, making tallow is my least favorite part of this because it's very repetitive. There's not a lot of color or technique or fragrance or essential and so I love the creativity part of small batch. So tallow was my least favorite, but that quickly became my bestseller, hands down. And so that has been that way since then, since we started that.
When did the tallow products get introduced?
I would say probably 2017-ish,
so this
around
was
there.
Before the bigger trends, if you will, online.
Popular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think, because I was going to ask, do you think the popularity of just the talk of it online helped sell that? But I mean, you started, it sounds like it was popular before even trends went that way to tallow.
Yeah. And we would joke, we've been doing this before it was cool.
Right.
This
Yeah.
But yeah, that was before COVID, and we were finding we had to educate our purchasers. Whereas after COVID, we didn't have to work nearly as hard on the education end of, okay, what's tallow? Why is tallow good? So it did change a little bit of maybe how we advertised our products or the consumer base that we were trying to reach. So
I love tallow. Before we dive into the thing that I love, I think we also need to do some more background. You have like a little farm stand effort where, having stalked your website and read about the animals, because there's an opportunity to do that. You have eggs, you have milk, you have meat people can buy. So we've started with cows and goats, but there's obviously other animals on the farm. What was the strategy? How many more? How do you decide what you keep, what you sell? What goes into all of that?
That's a great question. Every year is different. I feel like our goals have evolved based on our particular family needs versus maybe the needs of our community. And so we started with just a homesteader motto of let's raise what we need and let's just sell enough surplus to make this financially at least break even. But especially since COVID, there has been a huge back to the farm movement where people are starting to really value like a farm to table approach, and they're willing to pay a little bit more for that. It's becoming a quality versus kind of a quantity consumeristic change. And so I would say right now we've backed down of the pigs quite a bit just because it's so labor intensive. And I mean, we have a few litters a year and we sell piglets. We do sell pork, but it's not what it was for our family. I feel like we've just shifted up more into the tallow and the lotion and the soap production end of our farm. That's been more consistent. And it's hard to do animals through the winter in Montana. Montana's
she can
not
be
kind.
tough.
Not kind. And it used to be the thought, well, if you go buy a half a hog from the farm, it should be a lot cheaper than Walmart. But that's not the case now. You're going to pay more because small farmers aren't getting subsidized. We're not getting bulk GMO feeds. Like, we're doing it different. And so you end up paying for a different product. And so the customer base has shifted along with that. But we're sensitive to trends in the market. Piglets go every couple of years. There's usually a flooding of the market. I remember one year, it was during COVID, they shut down the processing plants. And so we had trucks coming through Montana with tons of pigs that they were just trying to sell for cheap because they didn't have the manpower to butcher them. And I remember we were trying to sell piglets at the time, and it was hard to compete with that.
Yeah.
And so, but those are good things. Like, we want people to have access to affordable, good food. And so we're always in this tension of like, is this affordable? Can we make a profit at it? Because we also, at the end of the day, we have to make our ends meet, or it's a lot of work for nothing, and that's not ideal or good for our family. And so there's this idea of this year, would this be a good idea? And maybe next year we need to switch gears. We need to do something different to help our community and even to help our family. Back to your question with the pigs, it started because I wanted access to quality pork.
Yeah.
And we joke, once you eat pork that's raised at a farm, you can never, it's like you're ruined forever. You can't go back.
So I tell people this all the time because I grew up on a cattle ranch. So the cows we raised, we ate. It is hard first to go to a grocery store and even know what you're buying. Second, I have no idea how to pick out good beef. I wouldn't even know. Right. I wouldn't even have a clue what that looked like.
You just had it.
Because I've always just had a cow that then turned into meat. And there is such a difference.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare I will order beef out at a restaurant because of the way I grew up. I have a different palate when it comes to that. Chicken, I'm good. I have no connoisseur of chicken or pork for that matter until my brother started raising pork or pigs, and that turned into pork. So there is this vast difference. And if you haven't experienced it, you don't know. And there's nothing really that can explain it until you do the side-by-side comparison of what that meat tastes like or how it interacts with you. So,
or even how it looks.
Yeah.
My kids will go by the grocery store and they'll say, why are the pork chops here white? Ours are red.
Yeah.
And even just my kids recognizing, okay, well, maybe it's a different breed. Who knows how it was processed? We're just used to what we do, and we have our hands in like every aspect of the animal's life from the moment they're raised to the moment we consume them. We're involved in those things. And so, but yeah, it's hard to go back once you've tasted.
Yeah. We'll be in a grocery store. My husband was raised the same way, and he'll be like, you want to get some steaks? I'm like,
Yeah.
Are they good? And he's like, I don't know. Like, we have no idea. And I'm like, how about we just not do that? And then we'll end up like at Central Avenue Meats
There you
or
go.
Discount Meats where
Yeah.
they've got local product.
Mm-hmm.
And then we feel comfortable just saying, hey, can you get us some ribeyes? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Because we know they know where the meat is coming
Yeah.
from.
Right.
We know the meat. You don't
Mhm.
always know that. So
Mm-hmm.
there's my plug.
Those are great businesses too, because they work with individual ranchers and farmers, and that's huge. And when we're out of our own produce, that's where we go to. So
Yep.
we trust what we're getting, and yeah.
Maybe a broader question, because we hear, like, I think this is common talking points in the broader sense that people like, okay, I know intuitively getting something local is better for me or from a local farm, but what are the major differences? Like, why does it matter between mass produced, if you will, and getting meat from your local farmer? And like, yeah, what are some of the big like health differences for the consumer for that?
Some of it's just management. So
Okay.
how like our pigs are raised outside on pasture as
Mhm.
much as we can. Pigs can be very destructive, but whereas most pork you're buying from the store those hogs are raised indoors. The piglets are separated from their mom. They have special ways to try to get the piglets to nurse. We have raised our hogs to be great moms. We leave them alone for the most part, and we leave piglets in, which if you've seen a pig give birth, it's amazing how they don't kill all their piglets because it's like a 500-pound sow and like a 2-pound piglet. We've had
They're
sows with like
teeny
16
tiny.
of them, and there's just
Yeah.
piglets everywhere. And to watch that mama lay down and not squish a single one is truly just, it's a testament to nature's perfection and just how God created them to be such great moms. It's amazing to me. Because we raise our hogs that way, sometimes we do lose piglets, but we feel like that's a trade-off. We'd rather have them in their natural habitat and be sensitive and encouraging natural instincts. So so that like pigs are raised differently. Feed is huge. We feed as much as we can non-GMO, if not organic. The pigs, we have a local farmer here. We feed his cracked barley. What I love about that is when someone buys a hog from us, they're supporting 3 different businesses: our local butcher, our farm, and the farmer that we're getting our feed from. And so that's a great way to support local Montana in 3 different stages. Like I love that part of it. We also are careful with MSG. I have an extreme MSG allergy. So we work with butchers that do not use MSG in their processing or gluten or cane sugar or, I mean, lots of people have different things. So we can't just eliminate everything, but we try to be really thoughtful about those processes.
Yeah, because when you get like sausage, it isn't just ground up meat. There's added things added into it to make it what it is. And I think people don't really think through that, which is true. I do remember the first time I took something to the butcher and they asked how much fat I wanted put in, and I just looked at them and I'm like, I've never had to answer that question before. I said, what's normal? You're like, well, this is how we do this. And I'm like, perfect. I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
But
it's a trial and error.
Making some hard decisions there. And you're like, well, what the heck? Just make it this. And they're like, nope, you get to pick. And I'm like, okay. So that works out good.
Yeah. And our butcher is really important. I mean, we believe animals are due dignity. And just because they are raised to be eaten, does not mean that their death should be anything less than dignified. And so for us, that's huge. We will pay extra to go to a butcher that is humane and cares for the animal, because our animals all have names. Even if we eat them, they are named. And so that's a really high value to us, and one that I think our the consumers of our product also value.
So pigs, what else are you doing? Chickens?
We do chickens. We raise organic eggs, and we raise meat birds. We don't sell them. We just raise them for ourselves. We do 52 a year, one for
Oh, wow.
one for every week
Yeah.
of the year.
Uh-huh.
And it's a lot like the beef. We use every bit of that chicken, and I usually can get 3 to 4 dinners out of one bird if I do it well, and we're making stock out of the bones. If you look at my freezer right now, I have a huge bag of carcasses of bones that we make stock from all year round. Bone broth is so good for you. So, yeah. But yeah, we don't sell those. We're not really set up well to commercially process poultry. It's more just for our family.
That makes sense. What else?
What else? We have a bunny named Peanut.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what other livestock. We have a rescue turkey named Rebecca.
Oh, that's an appropriate name for a turkey, I think.
The kids call her Repecca, but she doesn't
That's
peck.
hilarious.
She's very sweet. Yeah, she actually laid her first egg for us a week ago. It's huge.
Have you eaten the turkey eggs in the past?
This was my first one. It was a whole family experiment to see.
What did you think?
I liked it. So we raised ducks too. It was like a giant chicken egg. Duck eggs are thicker, like they have more, I won't say consistency, but they're just tougher. The shells are tougher. A turkey egg, this is just our experience, was not nearly as hard, and it tasted more lighter like a chicken egg.
Okay.
I don't love duck eggs in the morning. They're a little rich for me. I love them in baking though. So
yeah.
I was having a conversation, and there's just moments in my life where I feel like I'm an intelligent person until you like have this conversation, and then you just look at yourself in the mirror and go, how can you be this stupid and not connect the dots, you know? I had someone, we were talking about getting duck eggs, like, I have gotten some type of weird discomfort with chicken eggs, so I've moved to duck eggs. And I'm like, where do you find duck eggs?
Yeah.
How is that even possible? And they look at me like, well, they lay eggs just like chickens do. Like they're of the same kind of animal, just like turkeys. I'm like, oh my God, are there turkey eggs? And they're like,
yeah.
You can't be this stupid. And I'm like,
But
no,
it's
that
not
is
like
true.
you're not
Like,
stupid.
It's
To a grocery store. It's not like
well, and this is
there's
not,
all these different
right.
kinds.
You don't think of it because that's not what's in the store that you're
Right.
accustomed to. You're
Right.
like, oh, no, I need a dozen duck eggs.
Yeah.
Nobody even thinks of that. But
Right.
I came across people that get dozens of duck eggs. And I'm like, well, this is a whole new world for me. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people, they do way better on duck eggs. And I think turkey eggs, I actually looked it up because I was curious too. Like, why don't I see turkey eggs? They're really good.
Right.
I think it's so cost prohibitive to produce enough for a dozen. It's just not, I think that's probably part of it. But we've established we don't always do things that are financially. So for us, we're like, it was worth it to get a duck egg with Rebecca, our rescue turkey.
There's a turkey egg, and then we're going to eat it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you, Rebecca, for contributing to our family's
You're
nutrition. She's funny. She will lay down if you pet her. It's like she just sinks down and just loves it. So, but yeah, our flock all runs together. We have a big barn, especially with this kind of weather. We keep them all with really good bedding, but it's fun. The ducks will lay early in the morning. The chickens lay around mid-morning. And so the kids have a schedule. They go out and but the first one to do the egg collection, it's almost always just duck. And then by noon, it's almost just chicken. And it's
funny.
When the chickens are maybe struggling with egg production, our ducks are usually kicking it up. And so it's been nice to just, it works. It's a flock.
That's funny. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Any animals we've missed?
We have horses. I barrel raced for MSU in college.
Nice.
And so I have some barrel horses, but just with our stage of life and my husband being a pastor, it's not feasible for me to rodeo or, with kids, kind of those things go by the wayside. So we have 6 beautiful pasture ornaments.
Retired barrel
They are,
racing.
and they're great for the kids. They're great kids' horses. The kids will go out there and just ride around our property or go down the road. And that's just so much fun to have that.
So do you sell the duck eggs, or is that just for your family as well?
We sell duck eggs. Usually they're very popular at the farmer's market. We've got some people that just buy duck eggs.
Mm,
So yeah, they sell just as well as chicken.
look at that.
Are you going to try some?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, duck is tough for me. A mental block. I'm sure if I were to show up at the Bidlack home and they said, "Here's some meat," and you just ate it, it wouldn't be an issue. But like if I know that it's duck, I'm gonna be like,
isn't that funny
duck.
how like mentally, it's just what we've been trying to think.
And how do I come up with this? Like I have some exquisite palate. No, that is not the case. I've never had duck. I don't even know, but just something mental that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I should have brought you duck eggs. Like, 'cause I'm going to drop some off. You can try them.
Okay.
We have learned, just as like with this holistic thing, duck eggs, because the ducks lay them where it's wet, we joke that our ducks try to kill us. Because when it freezes, they dump their water and it's like an ice skating rink in a chicken coop.
Oh my gosh, how
The
funny.
ducks are so happy, but we're like trying to stay upright. And so the ducks lay their eggs usually where it's wetter.
Okay.
And so there's bacteria that is known to be on duck eggs that are just not on chicken eggs. And so when we do sell duck eggs, we try to say, hey, these are unwashed. You need to wash them before you crack them.
Yeah.
Just because of that natural thing that happens with duck eggs.
Yeah.
So just some education we've had to learn ourselves on.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So the tallow, going back to the tallow. Yeah. About 2017, you said is when you started. So is that when you started making it or when you started like selling it?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when I started to think through my soap ingredients, I would say, because you want to be using what we have. And so at that point, I think I was using shea butter and like sunflower oil. And I was thinking, I should be swapping out some of what we're doing for what I can do here on the farm. And that would be an economical thing too. And this was before I really got into education on like seed oils and like solvents used to get the oil, or are we cold pressing oils, and all the things that I've had to learn just because of what I do. And so that was when I started to put tallow in there. And I think I just kept doing it too because I love the results. It makes a hard bar soap. The lather isn't always great just with tallow. It depends on your water too. But it leaves just kind of a powdery feel on your skin. And I just loved how that felt. And so with that came adding that to lotion, and then just the whipped tallow cream that we do. And the last few years we've done like a tallow serum, a face serum. We've been incorporating tallow into more of like a specific skincare regimen. So yeah, that's where it kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Do you find that you have to balance, you've kind of already mentioned this, but balance the demand for these products that you make against the life you're creating for your family and yourself, to not become like this manufacturing center where the kids wake up at 6 a.m. to do their shift and we need to get the lotions out. How does that weigh into the balance for you?
That's a great question, and one that I think I wrestle with like every season. I'm like, are we Oprah out of balance? When I start hating shipping orders, which is usually around December or Christmas, that's usually when I'm like, that's it. We're out of whack, guys. Yeah. But yeah, we, because of our family, we don't want to become a large batch manufacturer. We want to keep it small. I want to be, so one batch of soap for me is 40 bars, which is not that much. And my problem is then I'm like, well, I'm going to try something different. And so I love the creative. Yes, we're back to that. And so that feeds me. But from a consumer standpoint, sometimes I'm like, I get people that are like, well, you did this soap last year. I'd like to buy more of it. And I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah. You don't get it.
No. And so it's more just, I've had to be okay with it's a artisan kind of thing. I don't want to mass produce. To me, that takes all the joy out. And I love people. I love farmers market because I get to see faces. Some people come every single weekend to get their eggs, or if I'm doing sourdough, we do a little bit of that, or their soap. And it's really relational to me. And I do not want to lose the faces and the stories that they have. And I think I might do that if we try to produce more and more. So
you have scaled though in some way in recent years, right? Because your product is in There's multiple.
It's available.
Places.
That's, I think, one of the really cool things. Not that there's a ton of product at each one of these stores, but you can find your product in retail stores so that they don't have to drive out to the farm or wait till the farmer's market necessarily. Which I have to assume breaks your heart a little bit because they're walking into like Yarn and Honey and you don't get to see who's buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carrie is the owner of Yarn and Honey. She's a really dear friend and just is the sweetest lady. And so she gets the joy of seeing my people, right? Walk into her store. But yeah, those are relationships that we've cultivated and then work to keep. And I love those shop owners just personally too. They're investing in Great Falls. They're doing the hard work. January and February retail is tough in Montana. And this time of year especially, I love hearing that people are going to those stores to support them because that's what keeps them going. We want to be investing in each other. So that's really important to us too.
So tell everyone who's listening where they can find your lotions, and some of these places have the whipped tallow cream here in the Great Falls area.
So let's see, Yarn and Honey, Carrie's, there we go. Our lotions, our soaps, and our tallow. Daydream Boutique on Central. Angela is the owner. She's great. She carries those things. Also tallow serum. 2J's just recently picked up a wholesale account with us, and they're carrying a pretty limited. They're trying to reach kind of more on a seasonal customer base, so we're wanting to support them in that, and they've been great to work with. Fairfield Drug in Fairfield and Copper Creek Coffee in Fairfield carry our products. I'm trying to think. Cassiopeia Books carries some soaps. Yeah.
Wow. I want to dive into the soap, and this is going to be a controversial topic.
Do you not use soap?
I use soap.
Okay. Yeah.
I
We're
am
glad.
a fan.
Yeah, soap is good.
I am a fan of liquid soap. Like you pump it, it comes out in your hand. I have to assume there's a reason why solid bars of soap are potentially better. But I also look at those solid bars of soap and go, they got all the fancy things on them, which I don't think help in the cleaning of anything. But also I think it's a tougher product because like I think it would be weird, not saying can't. I think it would be weird if we put a bar of soap in our office's bathroom for anybody to use, because they kind of have to pick up the soap and then use it and then put it back, which is, I don't know. I mean, we're sitting on the same toilet seat, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. But what are the kind of the benefits of a bar of soap versus can it become liquid? Like, is there an option for your bar of soap to not be a bar, but just to be a liquid in a pump?
Yes, we would need to change our formulation to use a different type of lye to make that happen. That being said, my home recipe for floor cleaner or laundry soap, I just shred up a bar of soap.
Oh.
And so like when I'm mopping my floors, which in our household is Mondays and Thursdays, when you have that many kids, you have to have a schedule, right?
Oh my goodness.
And you're on a farm.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes there's poop in my house. I'm like, I don't know what species that is.
And it's not coming up till Thursday. So you got some time to figure it out.
But yeah, in my mop bucket, we just do hot water and I do like 2 tablespoons of, I make a special soap actually that's, doesn't have a super fat. We can explain that in a minute, but yeah, that's all I do, and it dissolves, and it's great for laundry. And so I'm a big believer in like products with multi uses. The other great thing about bar soap is it's not plastic. So I would say environmental, like thinking consumers, that's a really high value. They want to be eliminating plastics in the environment. We want to be eliminating plastics that are on our skin, right? Which we wrap our soap in reusable seed paper now. That's been a change that you can actually just go plant in your backyard and it will grow flowers for you.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. The other thing, we've just moved into tallow shampoo bars lately. And some of the thought behind that is when you buy a liquid soap or liquid shampoo, what you're paying for is water. And it's just really diluted.
Okay.
And whereas a shampoo bar or a bar of soap, you're getting all the concentration of that product on your skin. Now, I have had people say, well, bar soap leaves scum in the bathtub or around the sink. And honestly, sometimes, if you use animal fats, they are known to do that. I think castor oil is an oil that is also known can get scummy. We just joke, we clean our shower all the time.
Yeah.
And we clean our house.
We clean our house. But to us, that's worth it to not have the plastics. I have had people say, well, the soap doesn't last long in the shower. And so then we try to educate, well, you need to keep it it's out of the water so it dries in between uses so that you get your money's worth out of your bar. If it's mushy, that's not going to do you much good. So, but really a lot of it's preference too. And, lots of people, it's just not their thing, and that's totally okay. We want them to be using a product that works for them and works in their shower. Sometimes water hardness out here can make soap act very different versus, in different people's homes. Shampoo bars, I battled this trying to come up with a shampoo bar because we have hard water and it reacts different. And so trying to have a consistent product that behaves the same, that has been a challenge.
Just talking about the tallow again, can you talk a little bit about with like the skincare line and things like that, some of the benefits of using tallow?
Yeah. Not all tallow is created equal. We're very picky about ours. So good tallow is taken from the suet, which is the fat around the organs. And the really cool thing about Montana cattle is they tend to put on fat around their organs to get through winter.
Yeah.
And so we feel like our northern cattle are superior in this quality.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we take that suet, it's very hard, it's pure, and we render it, and we slow do it so we keep all the good stuff in there. We've noticed, this is just my personal experience, but the further we move out of the cow, so the fat, like if you were to pull fat from towards the outside, it gets real beefy real quick. And so tallow that has a really pungent, beefy odor was probably not tallow from the suet, which in today's market, they're pulling fat out of every part of the cow, which isn't bad. But for skincare, we're careful about that. Grass-fed tallow should have almost a sweet smell. It can feel, this is going to sound weird, grainy in texture a little bit. It's just kind of got almost a crumbly appearance when we're working with it. And our method is we warm it and we whip just enough air into it to make it spreadable. Not
Are
enough.
you putting it like in a KitchenAid to whip it?
Literally, it's in my KitchenAid. Like I've burnt through a KitchenAid doing this.
So that is exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, whipped tallow. She must just put it in the KitchenAid and let it go until it's fluffy.
Yep. That's how it is.
You just
Look at how
exposed her
smart I
secrets.
am.
Yeah.
And then we whip our essential oils into it. That technique, though, has helped us to not add any oils. A lot of the tallow products you see now have like an olive oil or a jojoba oil or a castor oil, and those things are not bad at all. There's people that really prefer different oils in their product. We've just stayed away from that mostly because I have so many allergies. It's just been what has worked for us. So we do incorporate some essential oils. I'm playing with a tallow product right now that incorporates Manuka honey from New Zealand in it.
Nice.
But honey separates from oils naturally. So it's been a bit of a play to keep these things combined, especially farmers market. The weathers can change. If it's really hot at the end of farmers market, my products are like goop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to problem solve how to keep things together and yeah.
Is your tallow all beef tallow now, or is some of it goat tallow? Is goat tallow a thing?
It is. Yeah. You can have bear tallow. You can have elk tallow. Really, any animal fat can be quantified as that. I do not have the heart to kill my goats. Yeah. So we just do
beef tallow.
We just do beef. Yeah. I just can't.
I do not blame you.
I was telling a colleague friend of mine about, I said, well, I got this. I'd picked up a jar of whipped tallow of the rosemary mint, which is my favorite flavor. And she's like, oh, you're doing what? I'm like, well, it's whipped like beef tallow. And she looks at me, she's like, so steak? And I'm like, nope,
No.
not the meat,
Yeah.
the fat. And she's like, does it smell like steak? And I'm like, oh my God. So she had actually come to the office and I had mine on my desk and she's like, can I try it? And I'm like, yeah. So she opens it up, takes a big,
Oh no.
like just dives into it and brings out like what a normal, I'm going to say a normal amount of lotion would be for your hands. And I just looked at her and I'm like, I don't know what she's doing. I told her she could have some, not a big deal. And then she's like, oh, I took too much. I'm like, you did.
Yeah.
Like a little goes a long way. She's like, well, I'll just keep rubbing it into myself. And she's like, I'm getting all the areas. She's like, this is really nice. I'm like, now smell it because it doesn't smell like steak.
Yeah.
But I think that's a lot of the that was the first response that there was
People
like beef tallow
rubbing
steak on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's not it.
And it can, like, I mean, if you take fat from elsewhere, I think it can get kind of beefy. But we've actually learned to keep baby wipes now at farmers markets or shows because
people get excited.
they'll be like, oh, what do I? And then I'll have a baby wipe and say, here, clean yourself up. But we actually had someone, it was at the Missoula market. I'd never had this happen before. But this was the first and last time I ever had what looked like ice cream spoons.
Oh no.
Trying to be hygienic. Like I didn't want everyone.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that. Usually at farmers market, we will throw out tallows. I don't carry them over. Especially since COVID, I want to be real thoughtful about that. And this sweet guy, who's probably my age, he came in there and he got a huge scoop and he ate it.
Oh no.
And he looked at me and I looked at him and I didn't know what to say. And he goes, this tastes really bad.
Like,
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, it was, and he, bless his heart, he owned it. And then what killed me was about a year later, he came back. I went to the same market. He came back and he goes, remember the guy that ate your tallow? That was me. And I said, bless your heart for owning that.
Yeah, right?
So we stopped with the ice cream spoons after
that
that point.
Got a little
confusing. All the kids are like, it's frosting. No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But one of the things that I will say, if you stop into any of these stores to get the product or you have the benefit of getting some of the opportunity at the farmer's market when it comes back up, people might be confused about the price point.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the price of lotions and tallows and really reinforce again quality versus quantity on this topic here, because there's a lot of work going into this, but it's also an extremely pure product that takes a little bit of time to get done.
Yes, it's a labor of love in a lot of ways. I mean, our soap making process is we raise the goats, we milk the goats, we freeze the milk, we make the soap, which takes about 2 hours, and then it sits for 8 weeks to cure. So anytime you use one of our bars of soap, there's probably a good 6 months to not a year of just hands-on in some part of that. We don't buy milk from other farms. We just use our own goat milk. And our soap prices retail is about $10 a bar. We do wholesale. And so as a business, we've had to work through some different pricings, how to work with both of those markets, the wholesale and the retail side of things. Still learning on that one. But yeah, it's not as cheap as Walmart's basic soap. But with our products, you get minimal ingredients. Everything that we do, if it's not organic, is probably non-GMO. We've worked to use USA specific ingredients. We've actually just eliminated coconut oil out of our soap because it was really hard to source United States produced coconut oil. Yeah. There were some other things with that too, but I think with the seed oil backlash too that people have been learning about, we've tried to move completely away from seed oils for the most part. We don't use nut oils. Just for allergens. And so just thinking through, all of our oils are cold pressed. They're not solvent extracted. So we're paying more for that because we believe that that's important for long-term health. And I was diagnosed with thyroid disease about four or 5 years ago. And so we're careful with iodine and fluoride, and we don't feed our chickens things that have those in them. And So all of those things, knowing that our skin is our largest organ and everything we put on our skin affects our health. And that can also affect our mental health too. They're connected. So our lotion is $25 a bottle, and people are like, that's a lot.
It lasts a long time though.
It does. It does. Yeah. And we don't use water in any of our products. It's just raw milk. So you're not paying for a water product. You're paying for a raw milk product. And we've tweaked that over the years. You're always problem solving. Like, is it going to hold up in the heat? Oh, nope, it's separated. We're going to have to play with a different emulsifier. All the things. Our tallow is anywhere from $35 to honestly $50 for an 8-ounce jar. We've just brought in 4-ounce jars. Because of what you had suggested, Rebecca, which I appreciated. But ours is thick and heavy, and it should last you a long time.
So long.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
We have customers who come back and say, this lasted me a whole year and I used it every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which meant to us, good, you're getting your money's worth out of our product. And we want that to be a blessing to people that are using it. So
it was probably I was so, I'm such a nerd. I got so excited about the product. I'm like, oh, and then you smell it and you're like, oh yes, this is great. And then I saw the price point. I'm like, what if it, like in my mind, what if it sucks? Like, what if you put it on and you're like, oh, I don't like it, or something about it. I'm going to just tell you flat out, don't even think that question when you see these products from Sweet Prairie Farms, because it is amazing. There's no question about it. I made my friend, she had some of the same questions. Like, no, you like the flavor, just buy it. You're going to love it. And she does. She will seek it out everywhere in town when she's here. She doesn't live in town. And then we compare flavors. And I know flavors is wrong. It's scents.
Aromas.
But there are so many creative aromas you've put into the lotions that I think there's so much attention to just that. Like the aesthetic of what it's bringing about for the person who wears it also is pretty impressive.
Thank you. The essential oils is what we use in our tallow products. We might play with fragrances a little bit this year. And just for the listeners, every fragrance we do use is paraben and palfolate free. Often people say, well, fragrance gives me headaches. And it's like, well, it's probably one of those two things that is maybe causing that. So even with fragrances, we're trying to use as natural as possible. But yeah, essential oils, we're picky. We use doTERRA, Young Living. We use some Mountain Rose Herbs products. The essential oils are very expensive, but they are potent and they have those therapeutic benefits that we're going for. And from a production side, I have to use a lot less of them because they're so pure. So that's some of our decision-making process. I actually tried to get cheap one of the years and do a different frankincense that was a lot cheaper. And our customers were like, what did you do? It's not. I'm so thankful they're so honest. I'm like, okay, going back. That was not.
Frankincense is one, though, that if in the better form of it, right, it can be a very pricey one.
It can, yeah. And we had a really popular lotion called Earth that we were making. And I actually had to cut it from our line because we used frankincense essential oil. And I have to use so much in our lotion that it was like, oh my goodness, this bottle of lotion is costing me $30 and I'm selling it for $25.
Right.
At some point, this is just stupid.
Yeah. Right.
Because of the quality. And so we've had to make some adjustments, and I feel like we're always tweaking those things and making sure that the companies that we're buying from, they're staying consistent. And if someone wants to try tallow or they don't love it, we do offer full satisfaction. Like we've had situations where lotion got hot in transit and separated, and you don't have to send us pictures. We will ship you, one that's better. And so we want to be a blessing to people. This isn't just a moneymaker. This is we want to be a part of your family. That's a good thing.
And you said there's a tallow facial serum as well, correct? Are you, without giving away any of your secrets, because I imagine it's more than just tallow in that. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, that is a blend of organic avocado, organic marula, and organic olive oil. And then we do a couple different essential oils, including frankincense, blue tansy, lavender. There's a couple different ones. Yeah. That was a little tricky because tallow gets thick. So I was trying to get a serum that you could use a droplet bottle that wouldn't be too runny or
clog.
too thick. Yes. So I think we just finally landed on what the perfect, I feel like it's, and people are so great. They want you to succeed. And so I love feedback because someone's like, this was not working. Thank you. Now I know what to fix. So they're the best.
And frankincense and blue tansy are great for like facial skincare, right? Because there's the natural anti-aging, if you will, properties in frankincense as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Frankincense is so good for sunspots and wrinkles. And I just had that big 40 birthday this January. Those zeros, they're hard. And so
I remember when I turned 10. Ooh.
Double digits.
Wasn't. I was gonna say, okay. You suddenly, your wrinkles start to get a little bit more pronounced, I think. At least for me. And so suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm gonna up the frankincense and the serum here and give myself a glow up.
So when people find the serum, is that something that they put on clean face after they've cleaned with a bar of soap? They've gotten that face clean. They can put the serum on and then follow that up with a pure whipped tallow cream, or is the serum good to go without anything on top of it?
That's a great question. I like it in the morning under my sunscreen and then my makeup if I wear makeup. The older I get, the more I realize simplicity really is the best. And really a good cleanser and a good moisturizer and a good sunscreen is really all we need. So I like the serum for that reason because it incorporates olive oil and marula oil and avocado. And the trick with tallow, it's good to layer. Tallow is not occlusive, so it tends to sit on your skin and seal in moisture. But for people with super dry skin, sometimes it's helpful to have like another moisturizing agent, which is where I love our lotion because it does incorporate some different oils that have some different properties. And so that tallow kind of seals that moisture. And so if people say, oh, I'm struggling, I'm using tallow, but it's not doing enough, I will say, well, let's start layering. Maybe try like a good cold pressed olive oil and then the tallow. Let's see how that, because everyone's skin's so different. There's not going to be one shoe that fits everybody. And ultimately we want to be, non-judgmental and just give grace. And what works for someone is maybe not going to work for another person. And that's totally okay.
So completely separate. You were at MSU, so was your husband. Are you both from this area? Are you from somewhere else? Did you guys know each other before college?
I am from here originally.
Okay.
He is a native of Northern California. He asks that I do say Northern California.
It is different.
He grew up in an agricultural area, and so naturally wanted to go to MSU, and he has a degree in animal science and then ag business, I believe. So that's where we met. I was getting a degree in equine science. So he went to shoeing school there. Originally just thinking we would be shoeing our own horses, and that has become or was a career for him. He gave that up to actually move into pastoring a small rural church in Fort Shaw, which is where we're at now.
What church is it?
Fort Shaw Bible Church.
Okay.
They're just sweet rural community, about 100 people I think on Sunday morning, but
perfect.
I know it's been such a blessing. They're wonderful.
That's neat.
Well, thank you for sharing so much of your story and the details of all your stuff. I have enjoyed the heck out of it.
And we'll put in show notes, but you have a website. Where else can people find you? Are you on social media, anything like that?
I am not.
Okay.
I got off social media before COVID, and it's been one of the best. So we're just on website.
Okay.
But you can list my phone number. I'm always happy to answer texts or calls. But I hope that it's been edifying and encouraging and educational. And thank you guys so much for having me. It's been fun and a joy.
It's just one of those quality made in Montana products that is really just farmed to your body, farmed to your tummy, which I do appreciate because
there you go.
Because it's not something that people should take lightheartedly because it's a lot of work what you're doing. And I appreciate that you're willing to do that for us who aren't putting in those hours. Fantastic products, fantastic quality. And You can get them year round, but you can only see Jessie selling them at the farmer's market.
Yes, and I would love to meet each and every one of you. Come say hi.
So thank you so much. And until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, beautiful, well-moisturized faces in our fine city, we do hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you might be. See you soon.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.